As Westworld Season 4, Episode 3 unveils the true purpose of Hale and William's Golden Age Park, it's time to re-examine the nature of our reality. Nobody is surprised by the increasing number of mysteries in Westworld. At the conclusion of Episode 2, Maeve and Caleb unintentionally entered Delos' new park, the Golden Age. For our two Westworld protagonists, Charlotte Hale and the Man in Black, this Prohibition-era resort represents enemy territory as they continue to plan the extinction of humanity. Maeve and Caleb find out just how far down the Delos rabbit hole extends in Westworld Season 4, Episode 3, Annie's Falls, named after a period in 1920s France comparable to the Golden Age, and it's a rabbit hole full with flies, black ooze, and death. Thankfully, a formidable ally is rousing. The character of Bernard, played by Jeffrey Wright, has awoken after sleeping for 2 complete episodes. Westworld's most mysterious android joins a gang of human resistance fighters in the desert with Stubbs by his side. Season 4 of Westworld is still a long way from revealing all of its secrets, but Annie's Falls leaves a lot for viewers to digest. The evil motive behind Golden Age is exposed, Bernard's scheme to end all wars is hinted at, and Caleb has a disturbing encounter with his own daughter. Here is a detailed analysis of the bizarre ending of Westworld Season 4, Episode 3. The company's spectacular revival is announced by Delos' Golden Age from the outside. It's the first park created following the Westworld massacre of Season 2 and the first to be established on American territory as a result of William and Hale's replacement of important politicians with host replicas. Delos' human proprietors, however, have been replaced with robotic hosts, leaving curious visitors to wonder why a new park was even created in the first place. Golden Age is a 3-tiered facility, as opposed to previous parks, which only had 2 levels: the actual game and the behind-the-scenes to them. The historical resort portion is still on top, and the scientific operating level is still at the bottom, but the major innovation in Golden Age is a middle layer that has been recently introduced. This level is another stage of the park's fun, perfectly mimicking the former backstage section of Westworld with its glass labs and robot testing chambers. Golden Age visitors may now participate in the bloodbath by reenacting the Westworld massacre in all its gory splendor, killing hosts disguised as Delos employees, and rampaging through the very identical labs, which was inspired by Dolores's action-packed breakout from Westworld Season 2. This plotline must have been added by Hale solely to highlight the brutality of human nature, as ardent spectators will gladly recreate a real-life mass murder for their own twisted entertainment. The actual underground part of Golden Age is run by personalityless, totally automated white drones, which are normally utilized in place of sentient workers for top-secret Delos projects. The liquid that Anastasia Whitney's head flowed out of after Maeve shot her in Westworld Season 4, Episode 2 is being produced by the drone hosts. The said strange substance is subsequently injected into flies, which Episode 3 appears to prove are real insects and not ditty little robots. The fates of Anastasia Whitney, Jim Navarro of the Department of Justice, and the cartel gang member from the Westworld Season 4 opener are explained in this Annie's Falls segment. All 3 were forcibly injected with goop-infected flies, and all 3 became obedient to Hale and William's orders. This substance not only makes people submissive, but it also has an impact on fly behavior. Insects don't usually choose to burrow into your eye, but these critters have been changed to seek out flesh and blood, as evidenced by the fact that they congregate in front of Caleb rather than the robotic Maeve behind glass. Control is activated once a fly has entered a human vessel by a succession of 4 musical tones that are discernible only from a distance, similar to the sound a malfunctioning TARDIS might produce. These noises have the power to make people do everything from hand over an opera ticket to shoot themselves in the head. A testing facility for this fly-goop noise combination is located beneath Golden Age and is known by the deceptively cheery name Project Chrysalis. Navarro, who was captured in Westworld Season 4, Episode 2, is one of the test subjects, and it is obvious that the controlled humans are resisting the new programming on an inside level. The testing site for Project Chrysalis is situated just underneath Delos' Golden Age theme park, which is a crucial question. The table Maeve and Caleb sit at when visiting the saloon has the solution. Maeve notices a dead fly next to her arm and remarks on how the bar's standards have declined since she was a host. Golden Age is possibly a honey trap, attracting visitors to a location where they can all be infected with Delos flies collectively. With the exception of one outdated host designed to mimic Caleb's daughter, Frankie, the underground facility that Caleb and Maeve invade is populated by actual people like Navarro. The fact that Maeve doesn't recognize Frankie as a robot right away can presumably be down to the outdated face opening design, which was utilized for the very first hosts Robert Ford produced. Keep in mind that Hale seduced Maeve and Caleb into joining Golden Age. The offer was extended by the afflicted Anastasia Whitney, proving that the villain of Westworld was aware of the arrival of her adversaries. Caleb is supposed to be caught off guard by the host Frankie, but when the plan, understandably, works, Caleb receives a swarm of flies in the face. The entire plan seemed to be to assure Caleb got a fly in his ear, the opera, host Frankie, and William keeping Maeve occupied. It's unclear why Aaron Paul's character is so crucial, must be science, but possibly in light of the unrest from Westworld Season 3, Hale has come to understand Caleb's annoyingly inherent capacity to motivate others. Hale may also think he can unlock the sublime data that is almost surely kept inside Hoover Dam because Caleb and Dolores were close. Frankie from Westworld is fine. Hale and William dispatched a host after Caleb's family, perhaps in an effort to gain more clout, but the younger child, who was wiser than her years, knew her dad's friend had been replaced by an imposter, and they managed to escape just in time. It's unclear what happens to Caleb's daughter once she and her mother flee onto the streets without any supplies or guardians. The final scene of Westworld Season 4, Episode 3 shows Bernard and Stubbs escorting their new buddy into the desert, away from Golden Age. They meet up with a group of human resistance fighters who are looking for a hidden weapon in the sand, but what could possibly be valuable enough to spend countless days sifting through the arid wilderness? The location of Bernard's tale in relation to the present day of Season 4 is the only real hint provided by Annie's Falls. We already know that the storyline involving Caleb and Maeve takes place 7 years after Season 3, by which time we also know that the conflict with Insight is done. Even Caleb's wife reprimands him for continuing in a conflict that has already been won. The human resistance is not only back together in Bernard and Stubbs' timeline, but it is also far better equipped and organized than it was during the Insight riots. Stubbs purposefully omits a number when he says Bernard was asleep for years, which is significant. Therefore, Bernard's timeline must occur later in the timeline of Westworld. The weapon Bernard wants could be a host, a robot that is alive in Westworld Season 4's present, but who doesn't always stay that way throughout Bernard's protracted sleep, or an abandoned Delos computer carrying crucial information if a timeline split is taking place here. In contrast, Dolores might have left behind a specific item before she passed away, such as a weapon to liberate humanity in the event that Insight ever undone the revolution she started.